Are you new to Mac or you're a long-time user? It doesn't matter. The keyboard shortcuts are really important for everyone, and that is why I have decided to make this ultimate guide where I'll show you more than 100 keyboard shortcuts on some real examples. So you can also take it and adapt it into your own daily workflow. It is quite a long video, so I'm including the timestamps below the video so you can easily navigate in it and just jump between different categories of shortcuts, like Finder shortcuts, Safari shortcuts, text editing shortcuts, and so on. The full list of mentioned shortcuts can be found in the description of this video. And to make it even better for you, on the Byte Academy website, you can download a cheat sheet with the most used keyboard shortcuts on one single PDF page. And of course, it is for free. I'll also link it in the description. But enough talking, let's start with the category of shortcuts, which are really common and usually work across more applications. The first one, Command-N shortcut, is one of the most useful ones. If you are in Finder, so click on the desktop and perform Command-N shortcut, it will open new Finder window. And the same way, if you go to Safari or web browser, even here it will open new window instead of just a new tab. But this command works differently in Notes, text edit pages, or any other text editing or photo editing software. So now if I switch to text edit and press Command-N, it will open new document instead of a new window. And it is very similar to the next shortcut, which is Command-O. If I press Command-O here in the text edit, it will open this dialog window. And it works like that in all of the other text editing software. And even if I swipe to Safari, it will also bring up this open dialog window. That is not very useful. But again, it's different in Finder. Command-O shortcut in Finder will open the selected file or a folder. So I can, for example, go here and use the arrow keys on my keyboard to navigate between the folders, and with Command-O, I will open that folder. And I can do the same here, find the file I want, select it, and with Command-O, I will open that file. Now, once we have the document open, let's see some basic operations with the text as well, because all the selecting and copying commands are also universal. Further on, there is a whole set of shortcuts about text editing. But now, let's have a look at the basics. First of all, if you want to select the whole text, either in the Office software or anywhere on the web browser, you can do it with Command-A shortcut, or even in Finder. With Command-A, you can select all the files in one folder and work with all of them at once. You can delete them all, move them, copy them, or open them all at once. I wouldn't do that, because it will open all of the different applications and make a mess on the screen. But once I have them all selected, like this, I can copy them. So press the well-known combination Command-C. This combination will copy the selected elements in the temporary storage, which is called clipboard. And all of these files are now waiting in one place to be pasted somewhere. The storage can hold only one operation. But in that one operation, it can be hundreds of files at once. But you can't copy two different things. Well, there is one special shortcut which can do that. But I'll show you that later on. But first, let's place these copied items into a different location. I can, for example, click on the desktop and press Command-V to paste it. The files are always sorted on the desktop from the top right corner, so they appear there. But they are still copied. It didn't change anything on that, so if I create a new folder now, I can paste it again and duplicate the files into this folder. But another interesting thing is that I can copy between different applications. So I can, for example, take a text from the Pages document, press Command-C to copy, and now go to Safari, where I can place the text and search for it. But let's move on, because there are other shortcuts which can help you move files without actually copying them. One of the options is Cut. Unlike previous, this copies the selected text into the clipboard, but at the same time, it will also remove it from its original location. The shortcut is Command-X, and it works only with text. So you can't cut and paste files. It works only in the text editor. So I can go back to Pages, select any part of the text, press Command-X to cut it, and now I can go somewhere else in the document and again paste it with Command-V. So as I said, you can't cut and paste files and folders on the Mac. But you can still do something similar. On the Mac, it's called Move Files. Let me show you how it works. It works kind of the opposite way. You first have to go and select any file you want to transfer and copy it, standard Command-C shortcut. So now it's copied in the clipboard, so I can go to the final destination where I want to put the file and press Option Command-V. So instead of a standard Command-V, I have to add the Option key. And as you can notice, the file just moved there because it's not anymore in that folder. So if I pressed only Command-V, that would create a duplicate of that file and it would be at both locations, here on the desktop and in the folder. But now it moved there. And once I'm talking about the duplicates, that's another way how to move files. And the shortcut cannot be easier than Command-D, D like a duplicate. So with one click, I can create duplicates of all of the selected files or folders. And I can now work with these files, I can move them somewhere else, or maybe just send it to somebody. Before I promised you one special shortcut, which not many people know. It is called Kill and Yank. It works almost the same as copy and paste. Actually, it's more like a cut and paste. It can be also used only in the text editor, so I cannot do it with files. But thanks to this shortcut, I can have two different things copied in the clipboard and work with these two parts of the text as I wish. It will be the best if I show you that on an example. So let's go to the text editor and copy part of the text with the standard Command-C shortcut. And then select any other part of the text and use Ctrl-K shortcut. You can see once I did it, the part of the text disappeared, but I can also undo it to bring the text back because it will still stay copied. And now I have two different things in two different clipboards. So I can go somewhere else in the document, press Command-V to paste the one, and then Ctrl-Y to place the other one. So that is called Kill and Yank, using the combinations of letters K and Y. Now we have copied and moved so many files everywhere. I think it's time to delete what we don't want. If I just press on the delete key in the text editor, it will be deleting letter by letter. If I hold down the Command key, press Command Delete, it will be deleting word by word. That is not so exciting. But if I perform the same shortcut in Finder, Command Delete on this file, it will straight away move it to the bin. Now you can see that the bin icon had changed and it's showing that there is something inside. And yes, there is another shortcut which can empty the bin with one simple click. You can easily empty the bin if you just right click on it and select the empty command from here. But why not remember this simple shortcut? You know, standard deleting, Command Delete will move the file to the bin, and if you add Shift combination to that, then Shift Command Delete will empty the bin. Well, not really. It just brings up this dialog window telling me that I am about to delete the files, so I have to either confirm it or cancel it. But to make things a little bit more complicated, there is another shortcut which will empty the bin instantly without showing this dialog window. It's a little bit more advanced and it's a combination of 4 different keys. These are Shift Command Delete like before, and as extra, it's the Option key. I always like to press it from the left to right, so it will be Shift, Option, Command, Delete. Because I cancelled it before and didn't empty the bin, the icon is still showing that it's full. So if I perform this combination, you will see that with one click, it will change and all the files are immediately deleted. They are permanently deleted and I cannot undo this action anymore. But except this, you can actually undo a lot of things. So remember, shortcut Command Z to undo. This is one of my most favorite shortcuts and I guarantee you will be using it often. Let me show you some examples. I will start in Safari. If I accidentally close the tab here, with Command Z, I can reopen the closed tab. At least it works most of the time. There is a different shortcut for reopening the closed tab, but I will show you that later on in the Safari set of shortcuts. For now, Command Z should work. It works in text editor, obviously, but interesting option is, when you delete a file in Finder, you can also undo the action with Command Z to bring it back. And to make it more advanced and more complicated, you can also redo the previously pressed undo. Let me show you, because sometimes you are just typing and you decide you don't like something in your text, so you press Command Z to undo it. But then you realized maybe you like the changes. So you can do Shift, Command Z to redo the previously undone action. It sounds a bit funny, and you might say why I don't copy it there again. But the good thing on this is that it remembers many steps, so I can undo and redo anything I want many steps backwards or forward. This next category of shortcuts I will call App Window Shortcuts, because we will work with different applications windows. These are still quite general commands which works across multiple applications. So let's have a look at it. Previously, I have already mentioned the shortcut for opening new windows, which is Command plus N. But there is also a shortcut which does the opposite, close the window. So if you want to close a window as part of the application, but not the whole application, you can do that with the shortcut Command W. It will close a single window in Finder or a single document. You can basically close all of the windows, but still keep the app itself being opened. It will stay active on the background, so you can reopen it anytime or open different file from the same application. But as usual, you can add to this shortcut the Option key, which will be Option Command W, and with that shortcut, you can close all of the windows at once. But the effect will be the same. It will still keep the application active in the background, so you can continue using that. If you really want to quit it, you need to use the combination Command plus Q. That will quit the entire app. When I press Command Q, the app will disappear, and I will have to go again to my applications folder to reopen it if I need it again. I actually rarely quit apps throughout the day, and I have few more of them open on the other desktop. So let's go there and see how we can manage these windows. If I just need to move the window out of the way, I can simply hide it. So Command H will hide whichever window you select. Unlike with minimize option, there is no animation. It just disappears instantly. You can now bring it back by clicking on the apps icon in the dock, or you can use the task switcher for that. But as you have noticed, it actually did not just hide the window. This shortcut is hiding the whole application. But if I'm, for example, working on 2 documents or 2 presentations, and I just want to hide one of them, I will have to press Command M to minimize that window. It shrinks the front window to the dock, and it will do it with the animation you have selected. I am using the genie effect, but if you right-click the separator here in the dock, you can change the animation. And also, as you can see, the window has actually moved to the rightmost portion of the dock, and you can restore it by clicking on it again. But you also have an option to minimize the window under the icon, but that would do exactly the same thing like hiding, and it might be confusing. So I like to have these 2 options separated and always minimize the window onto the right side. But now we can do the opposite, and that is to maximize the window, even though it's not called like that on a Mac. The key combination Ctrl Command F will bring the window to the full screen mode. I am not a big fan of full screen mode, so now let's click on the green button or use the same shortcut Ctrl Command F to bring it back to its original size. As I said, I don't like the full screen mode, but it doesn't mean that I don't like to work with applications windows in their full size. And typical example is Safari. I always have it on a separate desktop like this, but it is resized to the whole screen. I can resize the window manually. By double-clicking the edges of the window, it will snap to the side. Or I can use the fill option in system settings. Thanks to that, a classic double-click on the title bar will expand the window to the full size. But I can forget all of these settings and just land the one shortcut, Fn key plus Ctrl plus F. It's basically the same as the previous shortcut for the full screen. Here you will just need to use the Fn key instead of the Command key. Now once we are in Safari, let's have a look at some shortcuts here as well. There are quite many shortcuts in Safari, which can really change the way you are browsing the websites. As you can easily guess, you can open a new Safari window with the Command N shortcut. But you can also open a private window with one click by including Shift key to the combination. In Finder, shortcut Shift Command N will create a new folder, but in Safari or Chrome, you will open a window with private browsing. In other words, the incognito mode. Now as we have more windows open, we can quickly close any of them using the Shift Command W combination. That will close the window. You can also include the Option key and close all of the windows at once, but it's almost like quitting the app, which you will probably not do very often. So I would recommend to learn just a simple one, not to complicate it too much. But what you will probably be doing very often is to open and close new tabs. First of all, you might be wondering why the shortcut for closing windows is so complicated. Why it's not just Command W. That is because Command W closes only one tab. If you have many tabs open, you don't need to be using the mouse and clicking on each one of them separately. You can use Command W and it will close them one by one. So we have closed the tabs. Now let's learn few techniques how to reopen them again. Well, we know it's the same shortcut as in Finder. Command T will open up new tab and automatically select the search window, so you can start straight away typing your website you are looking for. Good thing is that you can also set what window will appear if you press the Command T. It can be the start page as you see below, which gives you access to your bookmarks and frequently visited pages. But you can also set it to your home page, which can be basically any page. But there are other ways how to open new tabs. We can't really call it shortcuts, but let's have a look at it. So there is an option to open the selected page in a new tab. It's the other way around. You don't need to be opening new tab and search for the website, but you can straight away open the link directly on the new tab. Simply hold the Command key down and click on any link with a mouse or a touchpad, and you will see that the page will open in the background in a new tab. It's good if you want to open more articles at once and let them load in the background, or if you are looking for some products to buy, so you can open them all and browse them once they load up. But if you want to open the page in new tab and go there immediately, hold both Shift and Command keys and then click on the link. It will open it in the new tab and make it active, so you can interact with the page straight away. There are many ways how to scroll between open tabs, and it cannot be easier than pressing Command 1, which will open the first tab. Command 2 goes to the second one, and you can use this to navigate between 9 open tabs. Note that if you have more than 9 tabs open, you can still perform the same for the first 8 tabs, but pressing Command 9 will open the last tab, no matter how many you have open. But while working with so many open tabs, it might be hard to navigate between them. In this case, we can use the tab overview. So press Shift, Command, / to show all tabs. You can also access this view by clicking on this button, or by zooming out the gesture. Many ways to choose from, so it depends on your preferences. Now if you work with so many open tabs, it can very easily happen that you accidentally close one tab. You can try Command Z to undo it. It should work if you do it straight away. But you can always reopen the tab if you press Shift, Command T. That will open the recently closed tab, but you can also go to the history menu and see all of your recently closed tabs. And one of the most useful shortcuts is for reloading page, if it's not behaving well, or if you just need to refresh its content. I am using this shortcut all the time, so press Command R like reload, to refresh the page. But if this simple Command R shortcut doesn't help you fix the issue with misbehaving website, or it doesn't correctly load the pictures, you can try a different thing and reload the page from origin, which is performed by a key combination Option Command R. Now it's time to return home. This shortcut will do exactly what it says. When you press Shift Command H, it will load your home page. But as a home page, you can set any page you want to have quick access to. So press Command comma to open Safari settings, and here you can change your home page website. When you are browsing Safari for many pages, you can mark your favorite websites. So when you find a web page you want to remember and return to, you can bookmark it. Add page as a bookmark is as simple as pressing Command D. Easier to remember would probably be to use Command B as bookmark, but the default is set as Command D. In Safari, you have another way how to save websites with the content you want to read later. You save it in the reading list. And you can do that with a quick key combination, Shift Command D. So as you can see, simple Command D will save it as a bookmark. With Shift Command D, you will add it to the reading list. Advantage of a reading list is that after you read it, the page automatically goes away. So it's not like the bookmarks, which you would need to delete manually when you don't need it anymore. If you often save your visited pages into bookmarks, you might find this shortcut useful. By pressing Option Command B, you will get quick access to all of your bookmarks, so you can easily edit them in this window, reorganize it, create folders, rename, and so on. So these are all my favorite shortcuts I use in Safari. But there are still many more things you can do in Safari using the shortcuts. For these kind of tasks, I would probably use the buttons in the toolbar or just visit the menu bar. But maybe you will be using it more often, so it's worth mentioning. Let's go back to Safari. First thing you will either use all the time or don't use at all is the favorites bar. Just look up here, because with another key combination, Shift Command B, you can show or hide the favorites bar to have quick access to all of your favorite bookmarks all the time. Second place which gives you access to your bookmarks and reading list is the sidebar. So Shift Command L will open the sidebar, but you can always get to it using this button. In this sidebar, you are also getting access to your tab groups, and you can create a new one if you click on this button on top or use the combination Ctrl Command N. And now, because you have more tab groups, you can quickly jump between them using the combination Shift, Command, and the keyboard arrows up or down. I just feel it's easier to do it with the mouse than remember all of these shortcuts. But still, there is one more cool and easy one to remember. It is Command I. What does it do? Is to copy the link, take a screenshot, and automatically place all of it in the new mail message. So with one click, you can send the content of this page to somebody. And it's quite useful. But I think it was far too many shortcuts just for the Safari browser. And some of them are quite confusing. Luckily, you don't need to remember all of these shortcuts. You can easily download the cheat sheet, which is linked to this video. And there you will find all of the most useful Safari shortcuts on one single page. Now we will move on from Safari back to Finder. You'll be using Finder all the time, so it makes sense to learn some shortcuts to speed up your daily tasks. Let's start with Command N. I have already mentioned this shortcut before, because it works in multiple applications. But it's the shortcut I am using 100 times a day to open up new Finder window. So Command N will open new Finder window on the location you have set as your default. To change the default window, go to the Finder settings, and here you can set it up. Now once we have the window open, we can go anywhere in Finder and create a new folder by right-clicking on an empty space and selecting New Folder from the context menu. Wait, this video is about shortcuts, so let's do the same thing with the shortcut. Simply by pressing Shift Command N, that will create a new folder anywhere in the Finder or on the desktop. And the good thing is that the name is straight away selected, so you can type your name immediately without raising the hands from your keyboard. But you don't need to be working with so many windows. You can actually work with tabs in Finder. And it works exactly the same way as on the web browser. So press Command T, T like a tab, to open the new tab in Finder. Every time you press this combination, it will open new tab inside of this window. Or you can click on the plus button to create another one manually. Every new tab always open at the predefined default location. It will always be the same. But you can work with these tabs separately and navigate in each one of them to a different location on your computer. Now we've got some files here, so let's check more information about these files and also try to organize them better. In macOS, there is a handy tool which is called Quick Look. If you press spacebar on any of these files, it will open up this handy preview and it shows you the contents of the file. It can be any text file, it can be PDF, it can be the whole book, but also any other media, like music, videos, and so on. But if you need to know more information about the file without opening it, Command I will do that. It works with files and folders as well. This handy little window will give you a whole vault of data. You can find out what is the size of the item. You can select here in what application you want these files to be opening by default, or you can also use this view to even change the predefined icons. But it's a topic for another video. In addition to the previous shortcut, if you add Option and press Option Command I, it will open up Inspector. It looks the same as the Get Info window which we had here before, but the difference is that it shows you information of any file you click on. So I don't need to be closing this dialog window every single time. I can just click on this file or the other one and it will show me the info, which is very useful if I'm just trying to compare sizes or some other information on multiple different files from the same folder. Now once we are checking some information, we can also edit some viewing options. So press Command J to access Show View Options. Here we can change many things, for example the icon size or the grid spacing. And you can also find here some sorting options. But I have some different techniques and shortcuts for that, which I will show you later on. But once we are here, I recommend you to click on this one, Show Item Info. It gives you some information about the files without even opening them. It will appear under their names, and it's quite handy to know that. But when you want to see more information about the files straight away, or maybe sort them according to some different parameters, I think it's better to do that in the list view, not in this icon view. But for choosing the right picture, it will be again better in the icon view or maybe in the gallery view. So how can I quickly switch between these views? Well, you can use this button in the toolbar on every Finder window. Or you can do it with a shortcut. And it's a very simple shortcut. Command 1 will switch into icon view, Command 2 will be list view, Command 3 changes into the column view, and Command 4 will be for the gallery view. And once I'm in the gallery view, I can see this cool preview of the picture or any other file. It gives me some extra information and also access to quick actions. But what is good on that is that we can get this cool preview also in the standard icon view. So let's switch back to icon view with Command 1 and now press the combination Shift Command P, which will show you this nice preview here on the side. It's the same one as we saw before in the gallery view. So when you want to hide it again, use the same combination Shift Command P. As you know, the actual Finder window has the sidebar on the left and the toolbar on the top, and also some other useful bars on the bottom. You can show or hide any of these elements as you wish. You will probably not be using the shortcuts for it, you will go just once to the view menu and set it as you wish. But I want to show you a few useful shortcuts anyway. Let's start with Option Command S, which will show or hide the sidebar. Sidebar is the panel on the left which gives you access to your most used folders, your favorites folders. I am using it all the time, so I would keep it visible all the time. So press the combination Command Option S one more time to bring it back. But there is one more similar shortcut which can clear the whole Finder view with just one click. The combination is Option Command T. So again, it will hide the sidebar, but not only that, it will also hide the toolbar on top. So thanks to that, you can maximize the size of the viewing window, which might be useful for choosing some pictures. But otherwise, I prefer to have access to all of these features. I want to see my folders there and also the buttons in the toolbar. So I'll use the combination again and bring it back. Next, press Option Command P. And that's it, you don't need to remember this shortcut, just press it, because it will add the path bar to the bottom of the Finder window. It is a very useful bar, so I recommend you to keep it there all the time. It seems like a very easy thing to know where are you inside of the computer. But imagine the situation where you are backing up your data from the computer to the external disk. So you will most likely name all of the folders and files the same way. So seeing the name of the disk right in front of the path might be crucial in order not to overwrite some new files with the old files while you're copying it from the disk or to the disk. And you can also use the path bar to just jump into any of these folders or even transfer files there. But now let's move on. At the end of this category of shortcuts, I want to show you some cleaning and sorting options, as I promised before. As you already know, you can easily switch between the different Finder views, like the icon, list, column, and gallery view, just by the combination of command and the number 1, 2, 3, and 4. But if you add into this combination the option key, it will change into cleanup, and you can clean up your files in multiple different ways. There are many sorting options, but the most common one is option command 1, which will clean it up all by name, or option command 2, which will sort it by kind. But if you want to learn more cleanup shortcuts, you can see them in the view menu. Now let's move on to the sorting options. Sort by is similar to cleanup, with one big difference. The cleanup option is only one-time sorting. So if I clean up by name, I can still reorganize the files as I wish. But if I sort it by name, it will always be sorting like that. No matter how many files are there, if I rename something, add more files, they'll always keep on sorting like that. Now let's see the shortcut. It's basically the same as the cleanup shortcut I showed you before, in addition of the control key. So now it's all three modifier keys: control, option, and command. And then you add a number. So control, option, command 1, sorted by name. Control, option, command 2, sorted by kind. And the useful one might be also with number 6, which was sorted by size. I think I have already talked enough about Finder, so let's close this window. But when I want to reopen it again with Command and shortcut, it will always open on my set location. It can be on the Macintosh level, as I have it on my Mac. But I can also open new Finder window directly on a different location. So now I want to show you a few different locations on a Mac, which you can access by a single keyboard shortcut. Of course, you can always come up here in the menu bar and get to any of these locations through the Go menu. So if you're not interested in this category of shortcuts, you can skip ahead. But I think it's useful to know few of these locations and their shortcuts. By default, you should find in Finder access to your recent files. I am usually removing this location, but it doesn't mean I'm losing access to it. I can easily open it in the new Finder window. So instead of Command N, I have to press Shift Command F, which opens up new Finder window with all my files sorted by recently used. Shift Command O opens a new Finder window in the Documents directory. I think it's useful to actually set this to be your default location. But even if you have it set differently, with this one key combination, you can easily access your documents. What can be a little bit tricky is opening library. By default, you don't even see it in the Go menu. So in order to reveal it, I will have to press the Option key on my keyboard. And as you can see, it doesn't even have any shortcut. But we can change all of that. First, go to your Home folder and here open the Show View options. You can do it through the right-click menu or with Command J shortcut. And here you need to tick on the option to show the library. But once you do that, it will be always accessible from the Go menu, and it will also have the shortcut, which is Shift Command L. Now let's move on to another useful location, which is your Utilities directory, with all of your built-in macOS tools. So press the combination Shift Command U, which opens up the Finder window in the Utilities directory. And here you can find all of your useful applications, like Disk Utility, Terminal, Activity Monitor, and others. Of course, you can access all of them from the Applications folder or by using Launchpad, but they can easily get lost in between all of your other applications. So it's very useful to use this combination, which will filter away all the other applications and show you only these pre-installed Mac tools. And the last location I want to show you, which I'm using very often, is iCloud. I believe you can already guess the shortcut. It will be Shift Command I. I like iCloud, so it's very obvious. I store many files on iCloud in order to work on them across multiple devices, so it's a very useful shortcut for me. There are many other quick access folders in the Go menu, So if I have missed any location you would like to be accessing all the time, just go to the view menu and land the shortcut from there. We don't need to waste so much time with it. So let's move on to the next category of shortcuts, which will be about moving and arranging the windows on the screen. We can also call it window tiling. This set of shortcuts is really useful in multitasking. So I have already opened few different applications on the other desktop. So let's go there and see what we can do to organize these windows in a better way. For that, we will use new tiling features. So I can just take this window and tile it to the left half of the screen with a key combination Fn key plus Ctrl plus left arrow. I can do the same combination with any other arrow. So I can press Fn key, Ctrl and up arrow, which will fill up top half of the screen. Or bottom. I think you got the idea. You can also tile the applications into the quarters of the screen. But as you can see here in the window menu, it doesn't have any shortcuts assigned. You would need to create your own custom keyboard shortcuts for that. But what you can see right under are these arrange options. It's similar to the tiling, but if you use arrange, it will affect multiple applications, not just the one window you have selected. So this time I will select Keynote and press the combination Shift, Fn key, Ctrl and the left arrow. As you can see, it put the presentation on the left side of screen, but it also took the other recently used application on the other side. So each of these applications fill exactly half of the screen. So if I want to tile one window, I will use the combination Fn key, Ctrl and the arrow. And if I add the Shift key into the combination, I can control two applications windows at the same time. So I can do Shift, Fn key, Ctrl and this time up arrow or bottom arrow to arrange these apps above each other. But I can take this whole concept even further and arrange 3 different windows at the same time. But the shortcut is becoming quite complicated. If I need to arrange 3 windows, I would probably do it through the green button. But anyway, let's have a look at the shortcut. It's the same as the previous, with addition to an option key. So first select one window, which will be the main one, taking half of the screen. I will click on Pages and press the keys Shift, Fn key, Ctrl, Option, and now use the arrow where I want this window to be. So I will do left again. Now, as you can see, it put the window on the left side and another 2 applications into the quarters on the other side. Now let's move the windows away from the quarters. Good thing is that all of these applications remember their previous size, so once you move it, it will resize it back. Now I don't want to work with many applications, I want to focus on one single window. So I can center it in the middle of the screen. Fn plus Ctrl plus letter C will do exactly that. Letter C like center, it's easy to remember, and that will put the window in the middle of the screen. But to make it even better, I will press Fn Ctrl again, and this time use letter F to fill the entire screen. And now I am back to Safari. I have already showed you many shortcuts about Safari, but I still have few extra tips how to speed up the navigation on the page. It works pretty much the same way here on the website as it works inside of a document, where I will jump in a moment. But first, let's have a look at website like this one. You can scroll down through the website using your arrow keys. If you hold down Fn key and press arrow down, it will scroll by screen. But more useful is the next combination, because sometimes you are scrolling on the very long page and you want to quickly jump back on top. You don't need to be scrolling slowly manually all the way back up. You can again use the Fn key, but this time use the left arrow to scroll all the way in the beginning, or Fn right arrow to go all the way back to the end. There is another shortcut which performs the same. The only difference is the key combination. So if I press Command and arrow up, it will jump to the top of the page, and Command down goes to the end. I prefer using the second option, Command up or down arrows. It feels more natural. But these techniques can also be used in a document. So Safari aside, and let's bring on here this document, because I can do here pretty much the same things. I can scroll page by page using the FN down arrow, or I can use the combination Command down arrow to go all the way to the end of the document, and the opposite Command up arrow to go back to the beginning. But let's have a look at some more precise document navigation now. Moving around in the document cannot be easier than using the arrow keys. So with a simple click on the left and right arrows, I will move character by character. If you hold Option key down, you can be moving word by word. And if I exchange this key for the Command key, I can quickly jump to the beginning or the end of the line. So far I have used only the left and right arrows, but I can do similar things with these up and down arrows. If I click on the arrow without any modifier key, I can go down line by line, but if I hold it, it will kind of start scrolling through the document. It was just a simple arrow, but if you add the Option key into the combination, you can jump between paragraphs, which is very useful if you are reading a long document. So now we know how to perfectly navigate inside of the document, but there are a lot more other shortcuts which we can use to edit the text or to delete the text. So this set of shortcuts are dedicated to text styles. There are 3 basic styles you can apply to the text. It's bold, italic and underline, and all of them have their shortcuts. But very simple shortcuts. Command B makes the text bold. Command I is used for applying italic style, and as you can already guess, Command U will underline the text. This works almost everywhere on the Mac. It can be in the Mail app, in Pages, TextEdit, or even Microsoft Office. And this shortcut works like a switch, so if the text already has one of these styles applied, you can use the combination again to again remove it. These are the basic styles, but you can of course edit the text much more. Sometimes it's not very comfortable to be diving into these sidebars and search for all the style things separately. In this case, you can use the shortcut Command T, which shows you the fonts in one small table. So thanks to that, you can easily customize the text. And same as fonts, you can quickly access coloring options with Shift Command C. I don't really use this shortcut because it's quite easy to change the color from the sidebar. But if you are using these coloring options often, that might be a useful shortcut to remember. Now we have created the style we wanted, using few simple shortcuts. But you don't need to be creating the style over and over for every single word, every part of the text. You can just copy the style. To do that, first select the text from where you want to copy the style, from where you want to take the formatting. Actually, you don't even need to copy. It's enough to just position the cursor into this word. Then press Option Command C on the keyboard and go to the word where you want to apply the formatting, select it and use the combination Option Command V, which will paste the style and change the formatting of the new text you have selected. But sometimes you actually want to do the opposite. You have the text with different styles and you just want to paste it into your document and match the style of your document. And you can also do that with one shortcut. So first, select the text you want to copy. Just simple Command C shortcut for copying, nothing else. Then go somewhere else into your document where you want to paste it. And here you need to perform the new shortcut. Shift, Option, Command V. And it will paste the text and match the style of your document. It is especially useful if you are copying text from the websites, because here it contains a lot of different styles. So with one keyboard shortcut, I can copy the text from here and go back to the document and paste it there with one simple shortcut. Well, it's not very simple shortcut, it's quite complicated combination. But when you look at it closely, it is exactly the same shortcut as before for copying the styles. Option, Command C and Option Command V. Here, you just need to add the Shift key into the combination, which will also include the text for copying, not only the style. Often you might also want to add a URL link into your document. But you don't want to be having here this all ugly long website. You can replace it with something like click here or put the name of the website. So let me show you how to do that. First, type the text you want to change into the link. It can be the click here as I told you. Now select it and press Command K. After I press this combination, it will offer me to add a website and I can turn this into a web link. It's really easy. But now I have two more shortcuts which are especially useful if you are reviewing the text. First one is for highlighting. So if you want to highlight part of the text, press Shift, Command H. That will mark the text with this color. Advantage of highlighting is also that you can afterward perform a search. So you can not only visually see it in the file, but you can also filter the search by the highlighted words. And with a similar shortcut you can also add a comment. It's very useful if you work on one project with more people and you want to let them know about your own suggestions. So Shift Command H will highlight the text and Shift Command K will add a comment. And at the end of this text editing shortcuts, I left one I'm using all the time. Actually, for just making script for this video, I think I used it like 100 times. I am talking about a character viewer, which allows you to add emojis, symbols, accented letters, or any other symbols from different languages. You will activate it by pressing Ctrl, Command and Spacebar. I have recently noticed that there is one more shortcut which works the same, and it's Fn key plus E. E like emoji, so maybe that will be easier to remember. Now with one click, I can add a thumbs up. Well, you can do it as well if you are enjoying this video. But by default, once I add this one symbol, the table will disappear. So I have to perform the shortcut again. But interesting thing is that I can also grab it and detach it from the text. And now it will remain here for as long as I need it. And I can even expand the view and get access to even more than that. But we have already added so many things, so I think it's time to clean it up. And here I have few shortcuts which can help you precisely delete what you need. So by simply pressing the delete key on your keyboard, you will delete the previous character one by one. If you hold the delete key, it will be deleting continuously. But when the problem is ahead, when you need to delete the next character, meaning the one which is right from your cursor, then you will need to hold the Fn key down and then press the delete key on your keyboard. So you will start deleting to the right side. And you can also hold it and perform the continuous deleting. But when you need to delete a larger part of the text, it's faster and more precise to delete word by word. And you can do exactly that if you hold down the Option key and then press the delete key. So simply keep on holding the Option key down and every press on the delete will be deleting word by word. And I think you can already guess the combination for deleting the next word, not the previous, but the next. It's the same as before. You need to hold down the Fn key, Option, and then press the delete key. That will delete the word on the right side of the cursor. But if you don't like the whole sentence from the beginning of the line, you can delete the whole line if you press Command Delete. And to push it even further, there is an option which can delete the whole text all the way to the end of the paragraph. You can do that by holding the Ctrl key and the letter K. But I don't think you need to remember this. If you need to delete a large portion of the text, it's probably easier to just select it with the cursor and simply delete it with one click on the keyboard. But once I'm done playing with this document, I should also save my work. On modern Mac applications, especially the ones which are designed by Apple, it is already an automatic process. So all your changes should be saved automatically. But with pressing Command S, you will make sure that you will immediately save all of your changes. But what if you actually need to print the document, not just save it? Then use letter P like print. Tap Command P and it will open this printing window. One cool thing here is to actually use this window not to print the document, but to save it as a PDF. I can select it down here, and that's a really great way how to generate PDF from something, from some application, which might not support it by a normal saving. But sometimes I don't need the whole PDF. Maybe I just need one page or maybe only part of the text. I can actually take a screenshot of the entire screen and, well, I don't actually want to have the screenshots with me here. So let's go to the other desktop and I'll show you more about screenshots. Your Mac has a built-in tools for screenshots and screen recordings. And it's a great way how to share what you are working on or quickly save something funny you see on the web. So as I did before, Shift, Command and number 3 will take a picture of your entire screen. Anything what you see on the screen will be put into a picture file and it will save it on the desktop. If you change the number and press Shift Command 4, you'll see this crosshair cursor, which you can use to draw a rectangle over your screen. And anything that's under this shaded box when you let go of the trackpad will be saved as a screenshot instead of the whole screen. So you can avoid one step and straight away have the image cropped only to the content you want. In addition to previous two shortcuts, if you use the key combination Shift Command 5, it will open up screenshot and video capturing tools. And here you will get a lot more options to customize the way how you are taking the screenshots, where to save them, in what application to open them, and a lot more. And you even have the options to screen record. I am currently screen recording, so it looks different. I will put a screenshot on top of the screen now, so you can see how it normally looks like. But I have one last tip connected to this, and that's connected to all of the previous shortcuts for taking the screenshots. Because sometimes you only need to include a screenshot in an email, in a message, or a document when you want to send it to somebody. In this case, you don't need to save the screenshot in your computer to take space, but save it into Clipboard instead, and then paste it only where you need to have it. The shortcut for it is exactly the same as taking a normal screenshot. The only key you need to press extra is the Control key. So for example, Shift, Control, Command 3 will make full screen picture and save it into the clipboard. So now I can go anywhere else and with a simple shortcut Command V, I will paste the screenshot into my document. At the end of this whole block of shortcuts, I want to have a look at some system commands. So first, let's quit Pages. But what if the app doesn't want to quit? Any app can sometimes become unresponsive, and then the basic Command Q shortcut will not work. But the key combination Option, Command, Escape key will always work. It will open the Force Quit menu, from where you can force any application to quit. It is an equivalent of Ctrl-Alt-Delete on Windows computers. Back then, I was using it all the time. But today it's quite rare that the application will not be working on the Mac properly. And as you can see here, all the apps are fine as well. So I can just close the window and also close the Pages window normally. But do you remember what was the name of this Pages document? I do. So I can now search for it and open it again. So if you press Command Spacebar, it will bring this magical tool known as Spotlight. It appears as this floating search bar, so you can pick it up and move it anywhere on the screen. And you can use Spotlight to search anything on your computer. Anything you have browsed in Safari, anything you have in your Mail app, and you can even get through that access to some settings and switches. So it is very powerful search box. So I can type here Pages important and it will search the entire computer for these keywords. And here is the file, so I can click on it to open it. Or I can just go over that and press Command R, which will open new Finder window and show me where the file is located in Finder. And once I'm already here in Finder, I can use the standard combination Command F to search for a file in here. When you press Command F, it will open new search window, or new search tab in this case. And in this window, you can search for files which are inside this current folder, or you can search the whole Mac. You can actually set it up where you want the search to start. It doesn't need to be only in this folder, it can be searching your Mac automatically all the time. So press Command comma, which will open up the settings for the app you are using. I am in Finder, so it will open Finder settings. But this shortcut is quite universal, and it works in most of the applications on the Mac. Anyway, once I'm here, I can switch to the Advanced tab, and here, Setup, where I want to perform the search. But now we are approaching the end of the video, so let's close everything to have a nice, clean desktop. But we can go even further and also hide the dock on the bottom. Yes, you can set it up to be hiding automatically, but I don't find it very convenient. Actually, I find it quite annoying. Luckily, there is a shortcut, Option Command D, which will hide the dock only when you need to hide it. So are you already tired of all of the shortcuts? So now it's time to log out. Do you remember how to quit an app? It's of course very easy combination, Command Q. But if you add Shift to this combination and press Shift Command Q, it will log you out. Actually, it will just bring up this dialog window telling you that you will be logged out in 1 minute, so you can confirm it or cancel it. But as usual, you can also skip this dialog window, and if you want to go immediately to the lock screen, you can change the combination. So instead of Shift key, use Control key. So once you press Control Command Q, exactly, your Mac will jump to lock screen and you will be logged out. Anyway, I think that was more than enough shortcuts. I hope you have learned something new in this video. And if you enjoyed it, give this video a like and share your positive comments. Or even the negative comments. It doesn't matter, YouTube algorithm likes it. And thanks to all of the actions you take on this video, we can reach more people and they can become as productive as you are thanks to all of these tips. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.